What's up, everyone? Beast Mode back here with another video. So today I wanted to just cover my deck from the recent RBET, which took place last weekend, and I wanted to cover just a few of my matches. I don't want this video to be like too long. So I did switch up the deck. I still have the Scarecrow Zombie deck that I went, 9-0 with at the Deck Devastator tournament. I've had a lot of success with that deck, but the problem is a lot of people are onto it now because, of course, I post so many videos. I don't hide anything. So plus it's getting a little stale. So I put it off. I probably would play it again in the future. Definitely, I feel like it's the best version of Ultimate or Offering Zombies. So I did switch it up a bit. I went back to Triple Legacy, which I've played in the past. I had topped RBET in Fullerton last summer with Triple Legacy, Triple D Prison, Zombie build. This is obviously different. I wasn't playing Offering at the time. So we went with a little bit different build. I figured that we could have some chainables here in case people did think I was still on the Scarecrow and blind spacing or blind dust tornado, so we would be able to get some advantage. Plus, this plays a little bit better into Icarus attack and Raikou, which I suspected there to be a lot of value. So them trying to pick apart back row randomly, you can gain a lot of advantage. So same 18 monsters. I feel like this is just the way to go. Trag, I have since playing more. I'm on the fence with. It does run into the issue where you set a lot of traps. I know people have pointed that out, but playing against players that are extremely aggressive or just not. Sometimes they think they have a read and they're just slamming, and this card can really bail you out. It's also good with the fact that you play triple Caius, gives you some tribute fodder. I don't know. Hit or miss. I wouldn't argue one way or the other if you decided to cut this card completely or change it for, I don't know, we can play another turtle or crow or something along those lines. We did cut the Scarecrows altogether. We went with Triple Legacy. One road still just to protect the Ultimate Offering. And I'm still on one Bottomless. For some reason, this feels good. I know there's a lot of Blackwing, but like it's only really good into that. If you're setting it against Frog, sometimes they just play the Unifrog and pick it apart. Against Hero Beat, it's not terrible. That deck's really not good anyway. And they could chain Spark or something, but maybe the right number is probably 2 is what everybody's on, but I've been having some good success with just the 1. Double D Prison, and I like the main deck Compulse. Sideboard is spicy. We're still on double Skill Drain. I think that card's probably the best for multiple matchups. Great against Frogs, good against the Lice Warrens, Christia Sworn, all that. You can even bring this in against Value, which I've done. Dust is a second Bottomless, so you can put this in depending on if you're going first or second. That's kind of why I like that flexibility, because if you're going for second against Blackwing and you open Bottomless, you get one bottom, like you're already behind. If they open Sure or Whirlwind anyway, you're probably going to lose. But again, I wouldn't argue one way or the other that I felt so strongly that you have to play one. I don't think that that's real, but I have been playing around with some ratios. Soul Release was good for the Amaryllis deck. I expected to see a lot of that. Vortex as well for that, because Titanial is just a problem. Can also bring this in against Frogs. Got to side the heavy just for going. If you're going second, you want to put this in. I did put in a Possessed Dark Soul. I actually like this card with Skill Drain because the argument is if you're not playing Skill Drain, you just summon Possessed Dark Soul and you pop and take like a double dupe. Then they're just going to bring back Treeborn and then sack for Caius or something and then get like a dupe effect. So it's strong with Skill Drain because this tributes. So you actually can still use the effect. It's like a Lone Fire. So you can have Skill Drain on the field. You can, summon the Possessed Dark Soul, take their level 3. Sometimes it's double dupe and a frog, and it's hard for them to respond to that with Skill Drain up. It's pretty good. I don't know if I would like stand on a mountain and scream mountaintop and scream that you must play it, but I didn't actually get it off in any of my games. It's all more theory. Double Dyna is the way to go. I don't think Vandy's Fiend is necessary. Double Crow is probably fine. Some people are cutting it. That's fine too. Double Cyber Dragon I've been playing with just for deck devastation virus. It really hurts the deck. You can put this in going second or something, and you can cut a couple of the recruiters, cut Trag, and make you a little bit more resilient to deck devastation. It's not terrible against Blackwing either, unless they have the oppression. It's pretty good into value. So I did decide to side the Chimera Tech because I saw that the Machina deck was on the rise. There was recent topping at the YCS, I believe, in North Carolina there. So I have like one flex spot in this extra deck when I'm running the Ultimate Offering version. If I'm playing double road, then I play double Stardust. But we did go with the one Fortress Dragon. Again, I don't care. I think this card is average. If you're going to play 4 Machina decks in a row, you probably want to have it, but it's in and out of my sideboard. Again, it's not a card I feel overly strongly about. This card here I would not cut, though. I know people do. I've talked about it, but I want to quickly cover a couple of my rounds. So I actually had a pretty decent bracket in terms of players. They were great players. Round 1, I think I had a bye round 1. I don't know how I ended up doing that or how it works, but this was a double elimination tournament, so really to top 8 you only had to win like 5 rounds in a row. The problem is if you don't win 5 rounds in a row, if you lose early, in my opinion, it's not even worth playing, because like you have to win like 13 rounds to win the whole event, and then you have to beat the person in finals twice. Like, it's just so hard to win. If you're looking to just get an invite, then yeah, I guess it makes sense to keep playing. But if you're trying to win a tournament, if you lose round 1 or 2, you're going to be in for a very long event, and I don't think anyone's actually beaten the player in the finals twice in any of the RBTs. I could be wrong. Maybe that's changed since then, but in my opinion, I just don't play. If I lose early enough, I just drop, which I typically don't. So I don't often worry about it. But this is my round 1. I think this is round 2 in the tournament. Freya, very great player. I know they've topped multiple tournaments in the past with various decks. So definitely a competent player here. We're just going to fast forward through this. I'm pretty certain I know that they're on some type of frog deck. I don't know for sure, but I guess we can play with hand revealed. I'm okay with that. So I got to go first here. This hand is really okay. If this is anything like Goblin Zombie or Recruiter, I probably just win right away. So we're just going to see here. I probably just set everything. Yeah. And now I know for certain that they're on frog, so we're just going to let them do their frog things here. We're not going to ultimate offering out. Like, you don't want to do this. I think it's worth just holding. We're still drawing dead, so we're just going to keep sitting back. So I'm holding the legacy here. I guess I probably should have just flipped it and maybe tried to make a play, see if I can hit like a goblin and then go off with ultimate offering. But in my opinion, they probably have Gores, Trag. I don't know if this deck is playing Battle Fader, which they do have the Gores. So I'm kind of sitting back and waiting. I didn't expect a Thestalo, so this kind of hurt. And so now we are drawing the... we activate Legacy here to see if we can maybe hit the Trag to help with the Caius. We don't, and that's that. We do finally see a Goblin, so this is really good for us. And we got a Caius play here, getting a Goblin, and I'm going to grab Spirit Reaper. This is like one of the best plays you can do here. Now, unfortunately, if we had the Diva there, if they had hit Dark Arm and not the Diva, we probably would just win, aside from the fact that they have Gores. That's all it takes with Ultimate Offering is like Diva, Goblin, you win. So they actually don't drop Gores here, and I pick it. That was interesting, because if they actually drop Gores, I'm pretty certain they just win, because I actually can't stop the attack. They don't know this, but because they can summon Debris Dragon and make the Iron Chain and essentially attack 25, 27, and I just lose. So they held the Gores, which I kind of understand why, because you're just going to get a measly small 300 token. You kind of want to hold that for a bit more value. So they took the chance, and I was able to discard it. I lose here the Spirit Reaper, and we're going to take more damage. How many darks do we need? We need 1 more dark, so we're holding tight. So this is one of the problems I've had with Legacy in the past. It's kind of one of the reasons I've gone away from it, because this card here helps you dig through the deck, which is the idea behind it. The problem is, you're digging through the deck to get the cards that you need, but sometimes you'd rather just have the cards that you need, and these be actual cards. Because as you can see here, I've already drawn 1 Legacy, and now it speeds up the deck, but it also slows down the deck. If you're digging for specific cards, like Black Wings, for example, looking for Whirlwind, in this deck, you're probably looking for Offering. But the problem is when you you don't actually, you already have the cards you need. These cards are like slow there, because now you have to wait a whole nother turn to see another card. Especially in this matchup here, where they're not going to destroy my back row. It's really not that strong. So again, we're looking for a Trag to get a 3rd dark, and we draw another Legacy. So again, if these are like, I don't know what they would be, they'd be some type of trap. So even at that point, maybe you could call them D-Prison. They could be a Scarecrow. We could have stopped an attack. They could be Bottomless. But again, it's like speeds up the deck, but also at times it feels slow, because you need a real card. Like, I need a monster right now, and then you draw a Legacy. Now you have to set it, and then the next turn you get the monster because you activate Legacy. So those who play the card would understand. Again, I think I'm explaining it pretty well. So right here, this is kind of I'm a little nervous right now, because I know that this plant version plays they play Lad, and if they have Light and Darkness Dragon here, like I probably lose. If they 2 tribute for Light and Darkness, I have to solemn, but then they get back the Gores, so I just lose the game anyway because I can't deal with the Light and Darkness Dragon any other way. Luckily, they try to attack. I have the Goblin play, and we're in business now. So we draw Gale, we draw Legacy. So now, at this point with Offering, we pretty much can just win the game. We have just a lot of answers here. I choose to Ultimate Offering out the Gale because I want to synchro with the Sangan rather than the Goblin because I don't want to blow up this board right here. I want to try to go for game. I want to lock it down with the Solemn. Let's see. We're just doing synchro stuff here. We have Dark Arm with Solemn. We're in a very strong... And Starlight Road, we're in a very strong spot here. They Torrential, we have the Road. And this game looked like we're probably going to lose. We don't care about that. We don't Solemn it because we have game anyway with Ultimate Offering. See, that's why that card is infinitely better than Instant Fusion on a card-for-card level. Like, Instant Fusion can never win you the game where Ultimate Offering can, and that's a prime example. Maybe the deck itself, you could argue if Instant Fusion is better than... The Instant Zombies is better than the Ultimate Offering. Sure, everybody has their opinion, but if you look at the 2 cards at the same time, Instant Fusion cannot win you the game where Ultimate Offering can. So... they set a back row here. Of course, I'm going to go for the Spirit Reaper play. Like, you have to do that if you're playing against frogs. That's like the best play you have into that. We were lucky enough to have the Book of Life play here and hit Treeborn, so we're in a good position. Again, they hold the Gores and drop the Battle Fader, so I'm a little bit nervous here, thinking that maybe a Tribute's coming down, and it doesn't. We actually crow the target here. We don't hold the crow for the Treeborn. I don't know what they were thinking. I thought maybe they're going to make a Stardust, which we probably could have let happen because we had the Gale. I just choose to just crow the target and get some value here. Again, I could have hit the Treeborn, but we go with the Debris play. I think it ends up being right because they kind of stopped here. They probably should have... Maybe they Synchro here, but they don't. They just bounce the Debris again to reuse it. And they set a Spell or Trap, which happens to be Trap Stun. At this point, my goal when I'm looking at my hand here is how do I continuously rip cards with Reaper? Like, that's how I want to win this game. I want to put pressure on with Reaper the whole time. So we are attacking here, and fortunately, we realize that this card did not do anything. Let's see if they activate it in the standby phase. They don't. So now I'm thinking that this has to be a Dust Tornado or something along the line that they sided in. And, you know, I don't know for sure, but they didn't stop any attacks, and they didn't activate it on Summon. Torrential's gone already, so I pretty much don't ever play into this thing. I'm almost certain that's Debris Dragons. That's why I'm Mind Control here. We are trying to rip cards with Reaper, and we do. And the game is going well here for us. If I rip this many cards with Reaper, I'm probably not going to lose. So again, we are never playing into the back row. We think that they have a Dust Tornado. We're going to lock out that Treeborn, and we just hold traps in our hand the whole time. So I'm never giving them anything they need. I'm just holding the traps, passing, playing fundamental Yugioh, I would like to call it. And we go for Brio here. I think I could have actually just like... I think I just win here, actually. Do I? No, I can't win here. Yes, I could have. If I just stack for Plague, I probably win. Especially if I'm reading that as Dust Tornado. So I should just stack for Plague and go all out. That would be the play there. I actually don't see that. I must have been sleeping. So here I actually think it's the Kaiku that they set. And they drew Dandelion. So this actually almost like hurt me for a second. But I'm sitting confident with the Caius. I just know that at some point I'm going to win. I probably let this drag on too long. They used their Trap Stun just to use it to get back the Treeborn Frog. Again, I should have won this game 2 turns ago if I have a read that being Dust Tornado, which Trap Stun essentially would have been the same idea. Then I should have gone for the Plague play. So I was not 100% paying attention here. That is not good Yu-Gi-Oh there. So at this point, I can win the game. I already know it because if this is anything, it doesn't matter. I have the Plague play. So we're just attacking, and we're going to see if they respond. They have a book, and we're going to go for it now. So we end up winning the game either way. Probably should have won 2 turns before. And again, we did not play into the Trap Stun. We didn't set a single trap the entire game, so that worked out for us. So great player. This is round 1 for me, so still kind of takes me a few rounds to get my sea legs, as I like to say. So not a bad round, and I often zombies have a difficult time with frogs, so it was nice to be able to win there. Next replay is round 3. So Yandeme, I'm sure you guys have seen this player. They top. I think they have the most top 8s, or is that San Pustino? They're up there either way. They have a few tournament wins. Usually play Blackwings. Like I said, my bracket was pretty hard this time. Sometimes you play in tournaments and you play like 3 rounds of people that don't really know how to play. That was not the case this time. So I always set Sangan first. I know people like to set recruiters. That's not how I play. I always pick the Goblin or the Sangan first because that allows me to be a little bit more flexible. I probably should hold Solemn here in case that they. I don't think they ever play Vayu, so that's probably my thought. They are on Frogs. I send back the swap, and yeah, we know their whole hand, so it's probably pretty easy to play here. I'm actually reading this as Treeborn Frog, and it's not. It's the Ocean, which is fine. So they still have Treeborn in their hand here. We are attacking. We know every card they have. We're going to set the... So I thought that they were going to MST here, which I considered maybe like protecting, because I know their entire hand here. So that must be Treeborn. We go for Ultimate Offering. We do not pay 500, and they allow it. They don't chain MST here. So that's actually a mistake. Like, they should MST right here, because once this resolves, I can activate it to infinity. I can pay all my life points to do that, even if they MST it. So I activate, they chain. So that's chain link 1, chain link 2, and I just pay and keep chaining. So maybe I should have gone all out. I believe Diva misses timing here because it's chain link 2 or higher. So because all this other stuff has to resolve and this can't search. So I think, again, I'm not playing very good today. I think I could have just won if I go like Brio instead. The only question is, did they draw Gores or a Battle Fader or something? I guess I probably shouldn't play that cautious. Like, what's the odds? But again, I know almost their whole hand except one card. And again, I probably should just go for it. Most people will. I have Solemn here. So they actually pitched the one card I didn't know, which was Alias. So I still know they have Junk and Mally in hand. And I think that's it. I don't think they can do anything. Yeah, they forfeit there. So again, I probably could have gone for game the turn before. And oftentimes when I say, like, if you play slow, most of the time you win anyway. I think I should have just gone for Brio. What was the odds that they drew one Gores off the top? I guess it's possible, but anyway, game 2. What do we do here? We are bottomless. So I probably should you can set just bottomless here, because the problem is if you set Goblin, they're going to Caius you and you're behind. So I don't actually choose to do that. It might have worked out. This was a pretty good draw here. So I sided this in against the deck just because I put in Skill Drain. So I need to get rid of some of the cards like Trag that don't have an effect. I actually was siding out Dark Arm and Double Diva as well. So I put in Cyber Dragons just because they essentially are vanillas. So I felt it was better than drawing a Diva. I was siding crazy this tournament. So they're going all out. They're doing frog things. This is a great player. It's hard to... and this really hurt here because I need to see a live card. And of course I didn't, because they set my draw back. And we draw it again. And we're just going to set... So we have double recruiter set. And hoping that they attack into them. They do attack 1. So we search Goblin. Again, they kill the Goblin right off the bat here. It would have been nice if this was the Goblin set, but I didn't expect them to make an absolute 0 either. Again, we're drawing all monsters here. This isn't terrible. We probably could have went for... So I considered doing a Zombie Master Plague play, and my goal was to try to make Black Rose at some point, but they weren't like giving it to me. Like, my goal to make Black Rose was, I want this to die, and I want to end on Sangan, or Gale, and then I could summon Goblin into that and make Black Rose that way. But as you'll see here, they were very methodical in the way they attacked. And there's a Unifrog picking apart Brain Control. So they attack here, and obviously I can't Gale because they'll run it over. So I go into Tomato hoping that they attack this, and then they pick the other one. So it's just brutal. Like, they were doing the proper attack sequences, of course. They're a great player. So at this point, I have to make a play because this frog is annoying. And I probably could have done some other things here. I don't think I was playing particularly well this day, to be honest with you. I don't even know how I was winning as much as I did, but yeah, I think there was a far better line to do here if I sat back and looked at it. I think I did review this play with my teammates, and I think there was a better line, but I'm not going to worry about it while recording. So we skill drain. Yeah, I could have like ended the board and still, I could have Black Rose there and would have had way more cards. I think that's what I should have done. I threw this game, really. Let's see here. Here we're stacking, we're making plays. So I thought about this here. I think the play could have been like Rayquaza and from the extra deck, because if they have brain control, I don't lose if they switch these, because we know that's a dupe frog the whole game. I won't lose, and then I can try to win next turn with return. That's my goal. By bringing this out, if they brain control, I just lose instantly. Even if I bring out Gaia, 2600, 27, 28, I lose. So if I Rayquaza, the Flame Wheel, 2100, the problem is that loses to like every Monarch. So it's probably right doing this. The reality is they top brain control, and I actually lose because of that. Or essentially I can't win now the way I wanted to because I have to return to stay alive. And that's that. This card is not very good with skill drain. So this game here, I don't know what I was doing. I was not paying attention here. This is not a clean game at all. And I think we draw a double skill drain and we pretty much lose here. They hit the right one. So game 3, that game 2, I need to like really look at again. I know that I'm sure you guys will point it out in the chat, in the comments. There were definitely some other lines I could have done there with the 0 and the Herbellum on the field. But this hand here is not terrible. We have the skill drain, which you have to be careful when you're siding a skill drain with this deck. You can't just flip it over instantly because you can't play. So you have to, or it stops a lot of your strong plays. So we actually hit the skill drain here. They can still chain their own substitute effect. I think they were reading skill drain. That's why they popped the Treeborn instead. And that's fine. We are sitting back and playing slow. We draw Sangan, so that now things are looking good for us. Nobody's doing anything here. So I think we could, what do I do here? You could tribute for Caius if you wanted. That's possible. No, we sit back. We're passing. Still just playing very slow. So they MSC the skill drain, which is fine. So now we actually can play. So can't they? I think we Mirror Force that. Now we can Caius and actually get a real effect. So that worked out for us. We sat back and played slow, and it seemed to have work. We're sitting pretty good. We have Compulse, Starlight. I don't think we're in any immediate danger here. Why do I let this stay? I'm thinking about maybe I probably should just bottomless this. Maybe I'm holding it for a Compulse. Okay. Maybe I should I probably should bottomless and keep Compulse. Maybe it's a little bit more versatile. So we have the Dyna here. That card's really strong against frogs, as you know. Look at their hand here, double Miracle Fusion that they can't play. Also, the big thing is too, you'd never want to put the zeros in the graveyard because they don't have a lot of heroes in this deck. They only have like 3 or 4, and like Stratos, Ocean, and like Prodigy. I think they play Malicious Edge, so 4. But they get a lot of momentum when the 0 hits the graveyard because that just continues to fuel them. So it's good to either Compulse or bottomless the 0. Also, it definitely would have been better to bottomless the 0 there because I only had 1 monster on the field, because you can actually compulse the 0 back to the extra deck with Starlight Road on the field. So if you had 2 monsters and you compulse it, Starlight Road can negate and it destroys, so you can actually bring out Stardust Dragon. So definitely not compulse. Bottomless would have been better there. So these are some things that you have to think about while playing it, even down to should I activate compulse or bottomless. It's some of these things that make a difference throughout the game. So we bottomless the Stratos there, which I typically don't like to do, like say straight -1, but I understand that in this deck, they're already down 2 heroes. They don't have many. So if you can keep them off the heroes, they have a tough time playing. So we are just doing beatdown. We don't summon Pyramid Turtle here in case they have like brain control and they try to crash and destroy us there. I just don't like that. So we are just attacking and playing, and so at this point, I actually have game here. They're at 2100. They have not done anything to stop any of our cards. You can still activate Starlight Road with the Diner on the field. You just don't get the Stardust Dragon. So at this point, I'm ready to go. If they have Mirror Force, we have an option here. They would have to have multiple answers to this board, which we'll see. I should flip this to attack position in case they have Mirror Force, which I'm not going to do anyway. But just to put it face up gives me a little bit more options next turn with Gale. So I should flip that here, but I'm like ready. I'm thinking in my brain like I have game, and they actually have the Wing Blast. They Wing Blast the right target. They don't put that to the graveyard, which is right. And they were Geki Break the Dyna, so they actually had enough outs to the board, and they still have a Miracle Fusion in hand with a hero engrave. So yeah, good. They're playing correctly. They're on point with their gameplay. They're always a great player. They play like in all the tournaments. Are always in contention for top 8. So they're going all out here. It's nice that they attack this because I can shuffle the deck. I didn't want to draw Mizuki here. It's not very strong. And we're taking some damage, but we're still in pretty good position here. We know we know what they have in their hand. And they have heavy, but they don't play it because they know we have the Starlight Road. Like, they're playing proper Yu-Gi-Oh! So my goal here is, once I saw my win condition is what you all can see here is Black Rose, right? Because that's the cleanest way for us to really deal with Absolute Zero, because we just deal with everything at once, and then Mizuki goes to the graveyard and we can just win that way. So I'm setting up that's why when they attacked this Pyramid Turtle, it was vital for us, because I was sitting there. I remember the play very clearly. I'm like, I need them to attack. I need him to attack right now, because if he attacks this turtle, I had the Gale, and I can just end on Mizuki, and I know I can win the game. So that worked for our favor, and we activate the Yada. We could have chained to the Black Rose, but I wanted to play around Dust Shoot potentially with the Gale. So that's why we played it after. And we have game here, so it doesn't matter. They're doing their frog effect, but I'm activating Mizuki and going, unless they have Crow, which, we know their hand, they don't. So that was, again, I'm playing pretty sloppy after reviewing these again. Somehow I'm still beating pretty good players. So again, you should be trying to play 100%, but nobody plays 100%. And I definitely messed up game 2. There were better lines. It was a little bit of a complicated game state, and I needed to definitely sit there and stare at the field a little bit longer. But we were able to beat 2 very good players. Round 3 is where things get fun. So let's jump into that, so this video is not too long. So this is Black Wings here, and I get to go first. The hand is not super strong. Again, if this is like Goblin Zombie, I probably just win immediately. And I do have the Offering Caius play, which is not terrible. So we set a couple cards here, and we say go. I don't want to set Mizuki into Ashura or anything like that, or Sirocco. So they do Bora here. So I'm thinking that maybe their hand is poor. Like, summoning Bora by themselves is not super spectacular. Like, Ashura is obviously way more scary. They could still have Sirocco, which they do. But they have both, actually. They have Shura and Sirocco, and they just summon the Bora. So they're probably trying to bait a bottomless. I think I get a little too aggressive here with the play. I probably don't have to do this. I could just take the 1700. But I'm thinking that by me getting the Bora off the field, I don't have to do this play next turn into potential Icarus. So now I'm thinking to myself, maybe their hand's weak, and now I don't have to play around Icarus my next turn. So that's why I do this play here. It's not ideal. Obviously, if this was a Goblin Zombie, then that's like, or Sangin is perfect. But I don't think it's terrible that I do that there. I just think that maybe I should have waited a little bit longer, knowing what I know now, obviously. So we draw a Starlight Road, which is pretty strong in case they do have Icarus. So I'm feeling a little bit better. And I just attack. I probably should just Legacy here, but my goal is to just keep this sitting in the back row, so they target the back row with Icarus attack. That's kind of how I use Legacy. Like, I don't want to use it unless I actually have to. Sure, you can make the argument that I see the draw earlier and I could play into it, but like flipping this and summoning a Recruiter, let's say I hit Tomato or Turtle, you don't want to summon that into 2 back row like that. Like, I don't feel like that's a good idea. So we just attack, they deprison, and we set the road. So again, it pays off. Our patience pays off. They MST the Legacy, and we get to draw a card. Perfect. So we would have hit a Diva, so we would have been able to make like a Stardust last turn, but we wouldn't have been able to attack because you know that they have deprison anyway. So so here we go. I'm hoping that they have Icarus here. I'm hoping that this is Icarus the whole time. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And we take the damage here. So the play here is I am going to try to make a synchro play with their Shura. And I'm hoping that when I brain control, they chain Icarus and hit the 2, and then I can road. That's my hope. But unfortunately, they have the card that kills us the most, and it's Royal Oppression. So now I'm in a really tough spot because it stops this, it stops this, it stops that. Every card I have is now dead to Royal Oppression. So that's one of the issues. And then, of course, we draw another Diva, so that's spectacular. So at this point, we're just going to brain control to make them, to get rid of the Shura by them negating the synchro I make. We do a little bit of damage, and we're forced to do that. They're just going to negate. This card just kills the whole deck. Like, you can't even play. And we're sitting back here just getting beat down because we can't even call the Haunted. We just lose. And we draw return. So we had Dark Arm, return, call the Haunted, Starlight Road, 4 cards that get destroyed by Royal Oppression, and they had it. So we get to go first here again. This is a pretty good hand. We have Road, which is pretty good against Blackwing with the Icarus attacks, and that pretty much just lets us set everything. But as you'll see, this is the craziest sequence of plays, and this is how I knew it wasn't my day to win. They proceed to draw heavy. They had MST in hand. They MST, and you can imagine what they hit. They hit the Starlight Road. They heavy followed up, and then it's Shura, Whirlwind Shura. So it's unlikely I'm going to win this game from this point. Like, everything happened to fall the way they needed to, and that's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes. So we're just going to search Goblin here. And at this point, I actually have to search Mizuki because I wanted to search Plague, but the problem is they don't have a monster in the graveyard, so we need something big enough to run over the Kalut. And that's pretty much my whole goal. You could grab Zombie Master, but like you rather this in the graveyard if they have something. So we are so far behind here. This has to happen. They could have Mirror Forced, and that would have just we would have completely lost the game, but they don't want to put this in the graveyard, I understand. And we are just getting pounded here. So they actually, again, I'm not even sure how good this player is. They summon the Gale, and they don't even search with Black Whirlwind. Like, they could have searched Vayu. I'm pretty sure they play Vayu. So again, I don't know if it's like they're playing out of their mind and they're like reading certain cards, or if they're just missing things. I think that's more likely the case. And I noticed this player at game 1 was just kind of slamming a lot of stuff, so I felt like maybe they're just playing extremely aggressive. So we'll take all this. We can't really stop it if we wanted to. I think at this point I sided out Trag because, like, it's not that great, honestly. Especially against Blackwing, it might help keep you alive, but so this whole play has to pretty much stick here. We're gonna Caius. So I choose to Caius the Gale, and just so they can't Blizzard and like half the attack, and then we're gonna run over the Vayu. I guess I could have just banished the Shura. I guess that's fine too. So we set everything here. Maybe I could have held Mirror Force a little bit longer, I think. That could have been a play too. Maybe not Mirror Force that. Puts him on 3 dark, so maybe we just hold. We have Bottomless too if they happen to slam the Dark Arm, so I think I'm okay with that. But so now they're on what? 4 darks? 4 darks. So we don't want this to go to the graveyard. We Bottomless that. I don't even know how I'm still in this game, to be honest with you, because of the opening they had. So the problem with Book of Life now is it puts him back on 3 darks. I think I hit Shura here. That's fine. And we are Caiusing, and of course they have Bottomless. So they drew Bottomless, set Bottomless, and we are searching Zombie Master here. They draw another Bottomless, which they set a back row. I suspect that this is probably Icarus attack, the way they set value in this. So I don't want to use priority, because if it's Icarus attack, I just lose, even though I could have pitched the Plague. So it's one of 2 things. Do you play into Icarus? If you pitch Plague, target whatever, Plague again, then they can Icarus right then and there, and then you have 4 darks in the graveyard. Or you say they don't have Bottomless, and you're gonna pitch the Plague Spreader Zombie and grab the Turtle that puts 3 darks, and you slam Dark Arm. Well, they had drawn another Bottomless. So again, everything is kind of going the way they need it to go here, and some of those games happen where you're just like not gonna win. It doesn't matter. And here, I guess I could have. So my thought is, do I summon a Plague, ram into that, take 400, slam Dark Arm? Like, that's an option too. My other choice is, let's establish a board a little bit, play a little bit slower, and maybe set Spirit Reaper. So I do set Spirit Reaper here, and they just rip it, slam the Bora, and take some more damage there. None of this matters, because if you look in their hand, they have Brain Control anyway. So again, I'm fighting back into this game, and we are going to make a play. We have Dark Arm. This is the best play that we have here. We kill the whole board. We're trying to do some damage. And like, looking at it now, maybe it would have been better to just summon Plague and ram into the Vayu and slam Dark Arm, I guess. But again, it doesn't matter, because they had the Brain Control there anyway. So again, they had every single card they needed. They MST'd the Starlight Road. They are opening Shura Whirlwind. They have Brain. They have double Bottomless back to back. Like, you can't get frustrated with that stuff. These things are going to happen. You're going to lose games like this. Whether the player is good or bad, or doesn't matter. Blackwing is just a broken deck, and sometimes the deck is good enough to just carry players. And again, I'm not saying that this person played particularly bad. I don't know if they were thinking about certain moves, and that's why they didn't make certain plays. But regardless, the deck is broken. Still arguably the best deck of the format. Zombies still have a tough time with the deck because of Icarus attack. and you have to you require two plays, monsters on board to play, and Icarus literally feasts off that. And it's like a mind game when you're playing against this deck the whole time. Do they have Royal Oppression? Do they have Icarus Attack? It's hard. So anyway, I didn't play particularly well. I ended up finishing the tournament 4-2. I think I was like 18th place. Was 1 or 2 matches away from top cut. I don't know if this build is all that great. I just played triple legacy. It was average at best. I did play 3 frog matchups and beat 2 out of the 3, which is reassuring because frogs can sometimes just feast on zombies depending on how things go. Instant Fusion is way better into frogs typically, which I do have a good match versus Rog for War League this past week, and I did play instant zombies, and it was a crazy match, so I might cover that soon too. But again, you guys can pick apart my play. I'm very much transparent. I do not like to sit here and edit videos and only show matches that I win, lose. Like a lot of players will do that. They make videos. We're all human. We do not play 100% all the time. I did beat 3 out of my 6 rounds. 3 players I know for certain have topped and or won RBET's Deck Devastators Premier Tournaments. I actually played a Diva Hero player, Televisual, I believe the name is. I didn't cover it today, but they're on the Spy Diva Hero. Great player, awesome player to play against, very kind, and it was engaging. It was a great match. I probably should have covered that, but this video is already way too long. But anyway, I will be playing I believe I'll be playing this next weekend in the, there's an E&T collectibles tournament. There's supposed to be some big prizing online. I don't know what I'm going to play yet. Some form of zombies typically. And with that being said, I'll see y'all on the next one.